I had heard about this Caitlin Clark, and I was like watching videos of her just like having like 40 points, like averaging a million in high school. And I was like, oh, this girl thinks she's gonna come here and rule the world, you know, like whatever. It's gonna be, you know, whatever. And there she did, came in right away and ruled the world. And I was like, all right, here we go.
Kate Martin's WNBA story started with hope, but that dream twisted fast. The former Iowa Warrior who battled alongside Caitlin Clark in back-to-back Final Fours suddenly found herself buried on the Las Vegas Aces bench, her potential collecting dust. Night after night, the minutes vanished. The confidence faded, and the team that was supposed to build her up slowly let her drift away. Then came one phone call that changed everything, from Caitlin Clark herself. In a new interview, Kate revealed the exact moment she knew Vegas wasn't home anymore, and how that emotional talk with Caitlin reignited her fire. Joining the Golden State Valkyries wasn't just a transfer. It was a rebirth. A new start, a new energy, a team built on connection, not clout. If you're rooting for her comeback, you already know what to do. Drop Golden State Kate in the comments and show love to one of the WNBA's best redemption stories.
I feel like your two Iowa teams left a mark on women's college basketball, but also women's basketball at large. Is that like kind of crazy to think about? Like you were a part of something that was a catalyst for this like larger growth.
To really see how this all began, you've got to roll the tape back to Iowa. Before Caitlin Clark and Kate Martin turned Carver Hawkeye Arena into must-see television, the Hawkeyes were good, but not historic. Then came the duo that changed everything. Every home game became an event, not because of hype, not because of headlines, but because of the way they played together. Caitlin brought the fireworks, the deep logo threes, the viral highlights, the jaw-dropping range. Kate was the heartbeat, the steady rhythm that made every possession flow. She wasn't the sidekick. She was the structure, the glue, the voice that made Iowa basketball work.
I just remember you have that summer before, and she was doing things that I had never seen anybody do before. And as a freshman to come in and have that kind of confidence, like not everybody has that. Like I was like, oh, I haven't really seen anything like this. And so we knew she was going to be outstanding. And then, at the beginning of the year, we had some big wins, and there was highs and lows that year for sure. But, it took us a little bit to figure it out. But it obviously turned out better than I could have ever expected or thought.
Let's rewind to those legendary Final Four runs, 2023 and 2024. Sure, the headlines were all about Caitlin Clark, the deep threes, the records, the fire. But if you looked closer, you'd see another story, one built on consistency and heart. Kate Martin quietly averaged 13 points and nearly 7 rebounds a game. Those aren't sidekick numbers, and that's leadership. But here's the thing about Kate. She never chased the spotlight. Her greatness came from lifting others higher. She was the glue, the calm, the silent engine that kept Iowa's machine running. While the cameras followed Caitlin, Kate made sure everything else stayed balanced, connected, and unbreakable.
Real quick, what did you notice about Caitlin's work ethic? Was there anything that stood out?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, she was in the gym constantly. And it was like the way she approached everything too was like, it was like with a sort of excellence. It wasn't like, oh, I'm just gonna go through the motions and like whatever. It was like, no, like I'm here to kick your butt in every single drill, every single practice, and especially whenever our gray squad guys were playing against us, it was like, if you're across from me, you're my enemy, And I think that's just kind of how you have to approach things to get better. And she had that, next level mindset, and it really just raised us all up with her.
Rewind to that unforgettable Final Four battle against South Carolina, the night the undefeated Gamecocks finally fell. For Kate Martin, that wasn't just another game. It was the moment that defined her legacy. She wasn't chasing highlights. She was crafting control. Every possession ran smoother because of her fingerprints. She boxed out like it was personal, read passing lanes like a veteran, and set screens that gave Caitlin Clark just enough daylight to burn the net. Amid the chaos, Kate was calm, deliberate, unshakable. When the team's energy wavered, she was the anchor, the voice that steadied the storm. That's not something you can teach. That's instinct, leadership, and championship DNA in motion.
You had to pick kind of like a favorite highlight, like getting to the Final Four.
Yeah.
Is it beating South Carolina and breaking their streak? Is it, getting to the final game? Like, what would have been the moment?
I would say beating South Carolina.
Yeah, no, fair.
Was like,
that was incredible.
That was like the best moment ever, because we all believed that we could make it to a Final Four, and so we were just like, all right, we made it to a Final Four. Like, let's go. This is great. We didn't think we were gonna really make it to the national championship. Like the undefeated South Carolina, they're like Twin Towers down there, like just a very long, athletic, good team. And so when we executed that game plan perfectly and beat them, that was probably that's still probably my career highlight.
What made Caitlin and Kate truly special wasn't just chemistry. It was something deeper, almost telepathic. These two operated on the same wavelength, reading each other's movements like a script they'd written themselves. Kate always seemed to know exactly when to crash the boards after Caitlin's deep three-point attempts. And Caitlin instinctively found Kate for open shots or slick secondary assists that kept the offense flowing. They weren't just teammates. They were an ecosystem, perfectly balanced. Caitlin's brilliance shined brighter because Kate made the game smoother. And Kate's influence grew because Caitlin trusted her completely. Looking back now, Kate once described it perfectly. Caitlin was the high-energy force, the fearless scorer, while Kate brought the calm, the control, the emotional balance. It wasn't good cop, bad cop in a literal sense, but that's how it felt. One thrived on chaos. The other created order. And let's be clear, Kate's fingerprints were everywhere, even when the box score didn't show it. She set the screens that gave Caitlin daylight for those impossible shots, hustled back to cover for her defensive gambles, and crashed the glass to create second chances. That's the unseen labor, the championship kind of effort, that turns great teams into unforgettable ones. I was always more of the steady voice, Kate recalled. The one saying, "Hey, look at me. Take a breath, it's all good." My leadership came from trust. Caitlin trusted me because she saw the hours I put in, how deeply I cared. I was only 2 years older, but she knew I had her back completely, not just on the court, but off it too. Kate made a point of building real relationships beyond basketball. To her, leadership wasn't about barking orders during games. It was about relationship equity, the kind of bond that made her teammates listen because they knew she cared first. That's what made the Hawkeyes so dangerous. It wasn't just Caitlin's stardom. It was Kate's presence, her ability to connect, communicate, and keep everyone grounded. Sometimes, she admitted with a smile, if someone needed to get through to Caitlin, that was my job. But over time, she grew so much, learned how to lead, how to lift others, that I didn't need to step in as often. And honestly, I was grateful she trusted me enough to be that voice when it mattered. But the WNBA, as Kate soon learned, is an entirely different world. She thought that same Iowa magic, the perfect blend of trust, toughness, and basketball IQ, would carry over easily to the pros. It didn't. Instead, her WNBA dreams slammed headfirst into a wall in Las Vegas. The Aces drafted her, but what followed felt less like a fresh start and more like a slow-motion setback. While Aya Wilson and the team's veteran core soaked up nearly every important minute, Kate was left watching from the sidelines as her confidence and rhythm slipped away. The numbers tell the whole story. In May, she averaged a solid 20 minutes per game, not bad for a rookie trying to find her footing. By September, that number had plummeted to just 11.5. Her production dropped to 2.6 points and 1.6 rebounds per game. Those aren't the stats of someone lacking skill. They're the numbers of someone who isn't being given a real chance. The same player who once crashed the boards and hit clutch shots at Iowa was now reduced to grabbing towels and staying ready for minutes that never came. And when the playoffs arrived, things somehow got even tougher. 6 games, 3 total minutes. 3. That's not development, that's dismissal. The message from Vegas couldn't have been clearer. Kate Martin wasn't part of the plan. When asked about what makes the WNBA so challenging, Kate didn't dodge the truth. It's the physicality, the speed, the intelligence, she said. You're going up against insanely smart players, people who've been in the league for years. It's a whole different level. Yeah, Kate laughed softly. I think back to playing New York. They're massive, just stacked with talent. A lot of these women have been pros for a long, long time, and you feel that every single possession. She wasn't exaggerating. The WNBA is a different world, bigger, faster, smarter. Even Sue Bird, a legend who's seen every era of the game, once said that the transition from college to the pros can humble even the most accomplished stars. In Kate's case, those words hit like prophecy. This wasn't just a tough adjustment. It was a wall, one that seemed impossible to climb at times. Scoring here isn't easy, Kate admitted. When you see players averaging double digits, you realize just how hard that is. I've never been more impressed by the game than I am now. It's simple in concept, but not easy at all. She spoke about learning to slow down, to adapt. I've had to be more patient, she said. Play off 2 feet, stay under control. Sometimes I get caught trying so hard to make the right read that I forget the simplest thing, just go play basketball. It was a moment of raw honesty, the kind that showed how even the strongest players have to rebuild themselves when the dream turns into a grind. The structure in Las Vegas all but sealed Kate Martin's fate. The Aces were a veteran-dominated machine. Aya Wilson, Chelsea Gray, Kelsey Plum, each controlling their piece of the rotation. And head coach Becky Hammon wasn't about to mess with a winning formula. For rookies like Kate, opportunity wasn't earned, it was rationed. She wasn't battling for minutes against other young players. She was trying to squeeze her way into a dynasty that had no space for anyone new. It wasn't about her ability, it was about her environment. That's what hurt the most. Every game she sat out felt like watching her career fade in real time. Every practice running scout team drills felt less like development and more like punishment for believing she could make an impact. The confidence she built at Iowa was being chipped away, not because she failed, but because politics ruled the rotation. And the cruel truth she learned? The WNBA doesn't just test your talent, it tests your timing. You can have all the skill in the world, but if you land in the wrong system, under the wrong coach, your growth gets buried. Talent can't blossom when it's boxed in. Under the shadow of Aya Wilson and within Vegas's veteran hierarchy, Kate Martin wasn't being molded, she was being overlooked. Then came the turning point. One phone call that changed everything. At her lowest moment, sitting on the Aces bench and wondering if she truly belonged in the league, Kate did what she'd always done when she needed grounding. She called Caitlin Clark. When the topic shifted to the upcoming expansion draft, Kate's tone changed. I was actually really excited, she said. When I found out I wasn't protected, I kind of expected it. And honestly, I just thought, whatever happens, happens. That simple moment of acceptance would soon become the spark that reignited her entire career. Yeah, I kind of expected that, Kate admitted. You just look at that Aces roster. There are too many elite players. It's a business. You accept it and move on. But that conversation with Caitlin Clark wasn't just casual catching up. It became a lifeline she didn't even realize she needed. Caitlin was fighting her own uphill battle in Indiana, adjusting to the WNBA's physicality, the relentless speed, and the impossible pressure of being the face of a franchise. Yet, when Kate shared how she was getting buried in Las Vegas, Caitlin immediately saw through it. The problem wasn't Kate's game. It was her situation. Caitlin didn't sugarcoat it. She told her best friend the truth that no one else would say out loud. You're not failing. They're failing you. That hit deep. For the first time in months, Kate saw things clearly. This wasn't about effort or talent. It was about fit. Caitlin reminded her of what they built together at Iowa. Trust, chemistry, and complete belief in each other's strengths. She told Kate that sometimes success isn't about grinding harder in a broken system. It's about finding a place that recognizes your value. When the expansion draft rolled around, Kate didn't feel fear. She felt freedom. When I heard I wasn't protected, she said, I was actually excited. Most players never even get a second chance. The fact that I knew I'd get another shot, another camp, I was just grateful. That single phone call reframed everything. Leaving Vegas wasn't quitting. It was choosing herself. Sue Bird once said that every player has to find the right system. Not just any team, but one that actually amplifies what you bring. For Kate Martin, that realization was the turning point when the Golden State Valkyries selected her in the expansion draft. It wasn't just another transaction. It was an invitation, a clean slate. Vegas saw her as replaceable. Golden State saw her as essential. Now she's in the Bay. a brand new franchise, a clean slate, and a fan base that's already all in. Season tickets sold out in days. Every home game feels like a festival inside Chase Center. The owners have publicly declared their goal, a championship within 5 years. The expectations are sky high, but for Kate Martin, this isn't pressure, it's purpose. The Golden State Valkyries knew exactly what they were getting when they brought her in, a communicator, a leader, and a culture setter before she ever touched the ball. "I'm really excited," Kate said in her first interview. "This league is about opportunity. You just need one shot." That line captured everything. Caitlin Clark gave her the courage to bet on herself. Golden State gave her the table to place that bet. That one phone call didn't just save her career, it reignited her belief that she belonged here. But this move isn't just about a new jersey. It's a complete reset, the kind of second chance that only comes once in a lifetime. Expansion teams offer something rare, the freedom to build from the ground up. And that's exactly what Kate needed, a blank canvas to define her own story. And so far, the experience has been electric. "It's been awesome," Kate said. "The fans are so loud, so loyal. Even when we were down against LA in our first game, they stayed until the last minute, cheering us on nonstop. You walk around the Bay and see Valkyries gear everywhere. It's incredible." Unlike Las Vegas, Golden State isn't built on ego or hierarchy. The Aces were top-heavy, a star-driven franchise where veterans like Aya Wilson and Chelsea Gray controlled the spotlight, leaving little room for new voices. The Valkyries flipped that script. Their GM, Ohan, made it clear from day one. This team would be built on selfless, high IQ players who valued chemistry over clout. Kate Martin was the perfect example. Head coach Natalie Nass, who'd seen Kate's work ethic firsthand in Vegas, brought a fresh philosophy, one focused on effort, communication, and intent, not perfection. Mistakes aren't punished here. A lack of energy is. "Your energy matters" became the Valkyries' unofficial motto, and that's where Kate thrives. "It just feels really special to be part of history," Kate said. "We know it's going to be a learning year, but I'm grateful to do it with this group." That sense of belonging was exactly what was missing in Vegas. Under the Aces' star-centric system, rookies like Kate were invisible. In Golden State, she's not an afterthought, she's a cornerstone. Her role is simple but powerful. Anchor the culture with effort, unselfishness, and composure. The same glue energy that helped Caitlin Clark shine at Iowa now fuels an entire WNBA team. Her goals aren't flashy: rebound hard, defend relentlessly, make smart passes, hit open shots. She's not chasing viral highlights. She's building trust, one possession at a time. Every hustle play, every box out, every extra pass is her message to the league. "I belong here." And this time, she finally has the minutes and the system to prove it. Everybody's energy, excitement, and hunger to grow in Golden State has been nothing short of contagious. The team's chemistry is genuine. Every player is eager to learn, to compete, and to lift each other higher. It's exactly what Sue Bird meant when she talked about finding your fit. Kate Martin has finally found hers. Golden State is giving her what Las Vegas never did: room to breathe and space to grow. It's proof that the right environment can reveal dimensions of a player no box score can measure. The Valkyries didn't just hand Kate a roster spot, they gave her a purpose. From day one, she's been shaping the DNA of a brand new franchise, helping to build not just a team, but an identity grounded in effort, connection, and belief. Kate's move embodies one of the hardest truths in sports. Sometimes the bravest decision isn't staying loyal, it's walking away. Every athlete reaches that crossroads, the moment they realize they've outgrown their surroundings. For Kate, leaving the Aces wasn't failure. It was her declaration of independence. "I really love it here," she said. "It's been a lot of fun. Everyone's got that spark. Super high IQ, fast-paced, and competitive. We want to push the tempo, shoot a ton of threes, and just go. And even though we're young, the experience and energy in this group is amazing." Kate isn't the first player to flourish after a change of scenery, but her story hits differently because we all witnessed the entire arc. From the highs of Iowa to the heartbreak of Vegas, and now to the rebirth in Golden State. Her journey is pure resilience turned into redemption. The Valkyries are betting on her leadership. Caitlin Clark reminded her of her worth. And Kate Martin? She's proving that sometimes the smartest move isn't waiting for opportunity. It's creating your Wn's own next time you see her wearing that Valkyries jersey. Remember what it took to get there, the long nights, the bench frustration, and that one phone call that reignited everything. This isn't just a comeback. It's a masterclass in self-belief.